So hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. The soul ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last rise.
All right. Excuse me, everybody. Sorry if you could not hear me. I've been talking this entire time, but welcome to the LAS draft. We're here and we're ready to get it down and bussin', ready to get things moving along. So today we got. I'm seeing that Silent Ivern. But today we got the Wolves versus the. Excuse me. The Wolves versus the Hornets for game 2. And for the first one, running it up is going to be the Lions versus the Outlaws. It should be a good game today. I'm excited to see what these guys got to answer or got to show us today. So we'll see what they got for us when it comes to that. But for now, we are going to be just waiting for everybody to get all loaded in and get ready to go. So we'll see what we can do with that. But for now, we can just talk about a little bit of the players and how they've gotten to where they are. Both teams on the day that are starting off here are 0-2, so both looking for their first win for sure. We'll see which one of them is able to pick it up today, and which one's going to come out on top between the two of them. So I'm excited to see what they got. It's going to be a banger of a game because they're both looking for the first win, right? So I'm excited to see what they can do. But overall, it should be a good set of games on the day. For game 2, again, we got that Wolves versus Hornets matchup. Hornets looking real good with that 2-0 start so far. We'll see what they got going into this week. But overall, I'm going to be joined by Ravens. Man, he's going to be coming in as the color caster later on, so I wanted to shout him out here. But overall, it should be interesting to see what these guys can do. We got, the admins in the games. We got my man Gurf and everybody else in there running it with him. So I'm excited to see what they can do and how they're going to be able to be the playmakers for their teams, right? We are still going to be waiting a little bit as some players are going to be loading into this very shortly here. But we should, when things all get rolling, we should be good to go. All right. So I'm going to let Ravensman in the chat or in the call now. Let him talk it up, see what he can give us in the insight department, things like that.
Oh, hello?
I think we got you now, Ravensman.
Oh, I can't hear you. Hang on one sec.
I am now unmuted and undeafened. We got you there, Ravensman?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
My
for sure.
audio was messing up for a bit.
No, you're all good, man.
How you doing tonight, Gundo?
Man, I'm just ready to get it moving, get it going. Excited to see what these guys got to offer on the day. And I think these guys might be just as ready as us. So we'll see when they give us that go-ahead. But I think they're going to send it over to the Pensacola draft very shortly. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I want to see what these guys got to offer. We got Gurf on one side. Pig on the other side. These guys are going to be playing against each other. Two big names here in the LAS draft and across LAS overall. Gurf over there, just putting in tons of work. You already know.
Yeah, and of course this game is definitely not going to get confusing at all with both Maki and Mako on the same team. But we'll have to see. Hopefully your play-by-play can keep up with that.
Yeah, we'll see if it.
See the draft starting.
Yeah, we'll see if it can. Yeah, as you're saying, the draft is now starting on. Maki and Mako, yeah, definitely going to be a little bit of a tongue twister when it does come down to that. Overall, though, I think it should be pretty good when it does come down to it. But you can already see those champs being taken off the table. Silas, Yone, Morgana as well. Nobody wants to see that in the jungle position at all. So no surprises there.
Something interesting. The difference between Lions and Outlaws here is Outlaws is definitely banning much more of what's meta right now, and Lions are definitely going more for, well, currently ban out Mako, but overall banning out comfort picks in general. Tristana's a good blue side pick if you're not looking to first pick, so they must be looking for a jungler or a Jinx here, if I was to guess. We'll have to see what Outlaws decides to do here. That's an interesting dam.
Yeah, the Evelyn coming out there. That one surprised me a little bit. I think Pig does play quite a bit though, so no, they did the research over there on the side of the Outlaws. The Lions over here though, first pick in the Varus, so that champion has risen up in priority. The lethality of Varus being very strong at the moment. I I don't know too much on the ADC builds or anything like that, but I know that it has been dominating solo queue quite a bit, or at least it's been being picked a lot more often. I'm sure you have more insight on that.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with being able to first pick Varus is obviously he's strong in general, but you have the flexibility with him to do whatever you want for most of the draft. So he can either go on hit, you draft a lot of tanks, he can shred those tanks, completely carry a fight with like a Lulu or a Yumi, any type of enchanter support. Or you can go, like you said, the lethality build, which is normally paired with the likes of a Kindred or a Lucian mid, Tristana mid, something of that nature that can still output the DPS. Normally, you do end up seeing the lethality Varus more often, I'll say, than the lethal tempo one, but he's first pickable just simply because of the ability to flip flop between those two uh, variations in play. But we do see an answer with the Galio Twitch. I really don't like Galio this early on. I think his mid lane's pretty trash right now, and I don't see Mako playing Galio mid. So you really don't have the opportunity to flex the champion, in my opinion. I think he's pretty locked into support here. Twitch is pretty good. Theoretically, is a flex between the jungle and the ADC, but it is a defly special, so it's probably going bot.
Yeah.
I'd guess we're gonna see the rat in the hat today. It's gonna be an interesting build, but I'll try and catch up here. Urgot coming in the top lane, just a strong pick. Support is Vel'Koz, so with that in mind, this is more than likely going to end up being Lethality Varus. Having double poke in the bot lane is just going to be, insane. This Twitch will not be able to play the game. And then we got Nocturne coming out, which is another crazy flex pick coming in between 3 lanes, jungle, top, and mid. So,
Yeah.
I really like certain parts of this composition so far. I think I like Lions a little better. As I mentioned, you want to pair the Varus with another ADC, so we do see Kindred being banned out as well. And I would guess they want to get rid of the likes of maybe Lucian. I'm not sure the champion pool on Lions mid laner, though.
Yeah, the Lucian is a possibility here. Something I do want to briefly point out is you were talking about that Twitch for a second there. We'll see what the Fly can do on that, but it's something that I always like to point out when there's a Twitch with a global in the team, or in the game, excuse me, is that the chance of a submarine coming out. The classic Shen coming out on top of that. We might see that coming out, but the Galio as well could do just as well when it does just finally decide to show up in a team fight or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where you say, when did they allow Galio to be able to ult the ground instead of champions? And then you realize it's Twitch. But yeah, we do see the likes of Echo Lucian being banned away from Mako, Karthus being banned away from the jungler, who does technically classify as a DPS type champion, so it does make some sense. But overall, some decent bans here. Rock Solid coming out in the top lane.
Yeah, that big old meatball definitely going to be showing its face up around here. Malphite, the ADC's Bane, unless you got the reaction time of the higher tier players, it can be a little bit harder to get away from that unstoppable force. So I'm gonna be happy having my eyes on Napquan over there in the top lane to see if he can save his ultimate for the right timing, and if he can definitely have that target selection on point when it comes to those late game team fights. We saw it, I believe it was this last weekend. Fudge played it in the MSI, and he was playing it amazingly, right? He had the right target selection. He was saving the ultimate for the priority targets, and it was just looking real good there. So we'll see if they can end up doing it this time around as well for the side of Outlaws. I know it's a big comparison there, but I'm going to be having my eyes on the Malphite there. I always like to see them if they can get those big ultimates off, and definitely be a team fight changer there.
Yeah, but for sure. The only thing, so Outlaws definitely have a full engage, everybody ult, auto attack, whatever. That's how they're going to play the game. Lions are definitely coming out with the opposite here. They really want to stay back and poke, although when you really look at it, the Cho'Gath and the Urgot don't make too much sense in that comp idea. But it's definitely going to be hard for the Outlaws to reach the Lions. If the Lions are playing far enough back, playing for their poke, it should be good, so long as they can avoid that really easy Malphite engage. That really easy. I mean, Outlaws currently have such a good just Malphite ult, into Galio ult, into Nocturne ult, into Twitch, spray and pray right on top with Pyke cleaning up the kills, coming in the 5th pick. Like, if you're Lions, you do not want to stand together. That is a Pyke pentakill waiting to happen.
That is,
So,
yeah, that's a
I,
big
I
old wombo waiting to come out there, as you're talking about,
yeah.
man. I'm gonna be excited to see if they can actually pull it off, because we do know that when those wombos are in the game, if you're not executing on them, it can sit you a little bit farther behind if you can't get those combos off. Especially when you're dealing with something like the amount of poke on the side of the Lions, right? If you're not getting those setups right in the team fights, but they do have so much to see on the side of the allies that I do see it being easily obtainable for them to get a team fight win when it does come to those mid and late game stages of the game. Overall,
Yeah.
though, I'm pretty happy with the composition that the Lions came out with here. It's pretty poke heavy, but they have these two big frontliners to just stand in front of the rest of their team members.
Yeah. So I really like what both these teams have gone for. I think Outlaws just overall have the much better draft, though. So, and the reason I say this is Lions, when you play a poke comp, not a pick comp. Well, it is technically a pick comp as well. Most of them go interchangeably. But when you play a poke comp, you just have to play so utterly perfect. You really have no room for error when it comes to a poke comp. So you look at something like Outlaws comp that can pull the trigger so easily, and I mean, when you're looking at it, like Outlaws could theoretically pull the trigger and win a team fight down, I'd say, as far as 14,000 gold, and as long as they hit 3-4 people with the Malphite ult, layered on top of the Galio ult, layered on top of the Nocturne ult, the Pyke ult, the Twitch ult, there's just nothing Lions will be able to do no matter how far ahead they're at. So if you're Outlaws and you fall behind and you start getting frustrated with the poke, like, you just got to remember that you do actually, like, win full-on team fights. So it's definitely up to Lions to keeping that Urgot in the side lane, keeping Cho'Gath, in the jungle farming, getting his stacks up. Veigar probably is going to need to be in a side lane, but then you run into issues with Nocturne being able to pick him out and, other stuff like that. So it's really just, it's up to them to play. I mean, there's no better way to say it. It's just they have to play perfectly here.
Yeah, it's gonna be, the onus is really on the side of the Lions to play it out to their best ability, right? They have a lot of room for error, while the side of the Outlaws over there doesn't have as much error possibility there, right? You got so much pick potential, and hold this, because I think that might be a Pyke mid coming out there.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it
you see,
definitely
this
is.
that's kind of crazy, man. I mean, I've seen his solo queue a whole lot, and I have my mixed feelings about it.
I mean, so I would have mixed feelings about it, but it is Mako. I hate to pull that card, but it's like his best champion. As soon as I saw Pyke come out, I had no question in my mind that it's definitely not Galio mid, it's definitely Pyke mid. But it's gonna be up to him also. I mean, like I said, they can win at any point in this game, realistically speaking, but in this early game, to make sure the poke doesn't get too potent, he's gonna have to really control that mid wave, get into that. Specifically, if he can get into that bot lane, put the Varus and the Vel'Koz behind, they lose so much poke in this, in their team comp. Like the wheels fall off the track, the train. So, it's really gonna be up to him to focus on that bot lane, try and get some kills early. Because the big thing about Pyke mid specifically is you don't want to farm. You want to push the wave as fast as possible. It doesn't matter if you actually get the gold for the CS, but you need to immediately leave and make up for that lost gold, you can call it, by missing the creeps, by getting kills with your ult, when you roam. So, it's going to be up to Mako to do something. Because if he sits mid the entire game, the pick's wasted. There's no point for it. So, like I said, it's just up to him to really get rolling here.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pressure on him to get the ball rolling right, get his team in a position where they can and will be on top of the other side, and where they have an advantage in the game where, there's not a whole lot of damage spread here, right? It's mainly AD damage coming out here, maybe the Malphite including there, and the Galio with AP, but yeah, go ahead.
I think Twitch is probably going to build the AP build. It's probably just a better build at this point. So we'll probably see the rat in a hat, as the fly likes to call it. where he picks up Nash's Tooth and Death Cap and just does about a 1k with full stack E. So that's probably where they're looking to get their magic damage from. If I'm to fly, at least, like, this is like just the most obvious AP game in the world. But maybe he'll be an idiot. You never know. I've seen some dumb things from Defly in my time here.
In your time here on the Legends broadcast, man, you've seen some things. You know what these guys are gonna do.
I've seen some things.
The predictions just have started in the Legends stream as well, so make sure you go and vote for who you think might win this game, the Lions or the Outlaws. And as we're loading into the spectator or into the game here, and we're on spectator delay, giving these guys their time to load in and get everything set up. Let's just theory craft a little bit on how some of these fights might go down. We were talking about the big team fight potential from the side of the Outlaws, and how the side of the Lions over here really have to focus on their poke, set up around these objectives, get those choke points set up and things like that, just due to the nature of their CC being kind of zone control heavy CC. You got that Vagar cage, you got the Cho'Gath ruptures, not to mention you got these big not AoE, excuse me, you got these not point and click, sorry, skill shot heavy CCs on the side of Lions over here, so a little bit harder to land them. So really setting up around these objectives, in my opinion, is going to be important if they do want to consider getting a good advantage around those things. So what are your thoughts on that side of when it comes to some of these objective fights, or on how the side of the Lions can really set up around those?
Yeah, I mean, like you said quickly, like, the Outlaws is very straightforward. They just need to hit everything at once. The Lions is a lot more intricate. They've got to set up in advance. I mean, I'd almost say 45, 30 seconds in advance for any objective they want to take. They want to be together so that they can't get picked off as one, by a stray Nocturnal or something, but not together enough to where, you can get wombo comboed. So normally, if you're playing a poke comp, you want to come in from big entrances. Normally, people will come in from the jungle entrances, and that's where they'll get Malphite. If you come in through the river, the Malphite can't hit all of the river, so he's got to pick and choose. So you really want to come in from either the top of the, if you're taking Dragon, you want to come in from the top of the Dragon, the bottom of the Dragon, top of the Baron, bottom of the Baron. And then in the event you do get Baron, sieging is just the easiest thing in the world. You stand about a screen away, and you just hit them with everything you can. As Can of Tin once said, you basically just do target practice when you're playing a poke comp.
It's going to be straight up target practice, and I'm excited to see if they can really make it that. But for now, we're going to be loading into the game, and when we come back, we're going to be back at it and on the rift, so don't go anywhere. We're just going to go to a quick break while we do load it.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're here again, right back at it. No delays, nothing's going on here. It is going to be the Wolves versus the Outlaws, or excuse me, the Lions versus the Outlaws, excuse me, not the Wolves. But these guys are going to be going ham at it. I'm excited to see what they can do. Just going to give a quick rundown of both teams over here on the blue side. For the Lions, we got Sation up there in the top lane, Pick down over there in the jungle. Societal Shark in the mid lane playing Vagar. Unholy Wolf in the AD carry position playing Varus, and Big Dong Bandit down there in the support role. A whole lot of pings coming out from the red side right here. Gonna lower the sound of that a little bit just because it's quite loud. But over here on the red side for the Bandits, we got Nap Quan up there in the top lane playing Malphite, Maki, excuse me, I already messing that one up. In the jungle playing Nocturne, Mako in the mid lane playing the Pike, and then Defly and Gurf down there in the bot lane playing Twitch and Gallia. So I'm excited to see what these guys can do on these picks, and it should be a banger of a game, man.
Yeah, definitely should be. So some key things I want to point out from just from the start here with some items. We've got obviously the Doran's Ring coming in from the Twitch, so it is probably going to end up being the AP Twitch. We've got steel shoulder guards coming in from Mako, which makes me think it's a mispurchase. That feels really bad to look at. We do see engage here.
Yeah, an early fight already down the bot side. They are going to force the flash away from Unholy Wolf, so we'll see how that Summoner Spell advantage plays out for the side of the Outlaws. But going back to your point, yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, first off, that is huge that they've got the flash out of Varus already, because, you know, he is such an immobile champion. So you want to try and... Nocturne's already going to be pathing bot, top to bot, so if he can manage to get into that Tri-Brush, it is warded already, but, you know, the point still stands. If he can get down here, Varus has no flash, it's an easy kill for the most part. Yeah, we do see the steel shoulder guards. I have no idea what Mako's doing. I can't tell if he's trolling intentionally for some reason, or he just missed bot. I'm probably going to go with the missed bot, though. But we do see the tier coming out from the Varus, so definitely going for a much more scaly option when it comes to this laning phase here. As you see, the Q there does peanuts damage.
Yeah, right now it is doing quite a little bit of damage, but Nap Quan up there in the top side taking a pretty bad trade, and he's kind of down in CS already. You see that 12-4. It is going to be, it is going to play well into the side of the Sacian's hands over there. It does have quite a bit of control up there in the top side. On the bot side here, though, we are seeing the engage going off already. Gurf going in aggressively, almost burning down Big Dog Bandit, and it is going to be the burn down. First blood over there to the side of the Outlaws. It's going to be the Fly picking up that one, and it's looking already good for the side of the Outlaws.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, I mentioned earlier, from a screen away, even in laning phase here, you really got to just be a screen away. You can't expect them not to go in, because that is just everything their comp wants to do here. So, you know, if you're Big Dong Bandit here, you really got to stay as far back as you can. I mean, there is no too far back. So long as you're in XP range, that's probably good.
Yeah, being in a good position there for Big Dog Bandit is going to be crucial, right? Because he opted into this Vel'Koz pick. It's not like he's playing something more supportive like a Lulu, like a Janna, or even like a Seraphine, right? Or he's not playing an engaged champion, right? This is just pure damage Vel'Koz, so it's going to be really important that he doesn't fall too far behind, or else he's just going to be like one of those useless champs running around the rift. So for now, though, it's not that big of a of a deficit down there. It is just that one kill going over to Defly, and Nap Quan might be in a bad spot here. The flash comes in from Station. Nap Quan trying to get away. The Q is going to go down and slow him in the mid lane, though. It's a 3-man already onto the mid side, and it's going to be Mako hooking him back in and taking him down. Societal Shark is going to get killed in a 1v3. Unfortunate there for the Pike, or for the Veigar.
Yeah, for sure. Something funny to note. We do see Mako sold his steel shoulder guards and bought 2 longswords. So I'm gonna go with mistake officially. But yeah, just kind of unfortunate. You know, if you're playing mid lane against the Twitch bot, especially a good Twitch bot, they're always gonna be looking to go mid off of reset. It's just kind of what they do. But yeah, so Societal Shark's got to be feeling really bad here, especially with the wave state here. If Mako hits 6 quickly here, it doesn't look like he will because he's a quarter of the way there, but it is going to be problematic.
Yeah, Gurf is going in, though. He's getting real aggressive. Big Dong Bandit is going to get taken down once again to Fly alongside Gurf there, getting real aggressive, and that all started off with Gurf flashing in there, and you can see how much that pressure on the bot side is already starting to, you know, take over for the side of the Outlaws over here. And it's pretty good out of them that they're, you know, finding these advantages down here, because you wouldn't really expect it out of this big poke lane to, you know, playing so far up in the lane, but you know, both times has been Big Dong Bandit going down there. So On the top side here, though, Napquan is taking a pretty bad trade against Station, but Station trading back just as well. The Corrupting Pots here on the Malphite are helping him to sustain a bit in this lane, and it does look like he's going to be opting in for more of a tanky build this time around. So no one-shot AP Malphites.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate, but it is, you know, we accept it here, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is just, like, exactly how you didn't want to start this game if you're Lions. You know, you really got to play this early game safe. And instead, you know, we see them, you know, dying in pretty much every lane at this point, except for top lane. Well, and jungle, but it's just, it's not going well for them so far. You know, the ship isn't lost yet, but it's definitely, it's not looking too hot for 6.5 minutes, and they're already down 2k gold.
Yeah, that's not gonna feel good at this point in time, man. And that gold lead is only gonna continue to grow, right? You got the Pike to give you some extra gold as well, and just, you know, this advantage is starting to grow over there in the bot side as well as in the mid lane. You can see Mako there, 52 to 35 CS against that Veigar, and yeah, that early kill helped a lot, but it's just looking like a, you know, just a laning difference here against the Veigar, and we're seeing another 3-man play possible here. This Idle Shark is going to get pulled back. This could be him going down again, and that's going to be the
Oh, Mako's dead, though.
Yep.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Mako could
1
have got...
HP.
Yeah, gets away with barely any HP left. Surprisingly, he stays alive after all that, but is feeling pretty good still. Not going to be too bad of a position there. 2-0-0 on his scoreboard. Picks up the Serrated Dirk and the mobility boots now, so he's going to be roaming around the map like a madman. And if you're a Pike, that's exactly what you want to be doing, especially if you're playing something like a Pike mid. And, you know, you said it in the champ select that it's going to be Mako really going down to the bot side, but so far it's been the Fly and Gurb going to the mid lane. So a big change here, but hold that, because the Flies, while all that was happening, they're going to take it out. But on the top side as well, there's a big fight going off, and that's going to be the Lions picking up 2 back onto the top side of the Outlaws. So Maki and Napquan not getting the best of that trade up there, and going to be going down there. But going back to how we were talking about these advantages around the map for the Outlaws, they are still looking quite good. 300 gold bounty there on the Rat there on Twitch for the Fly, and Mako as well in the mid lane having about 150 gold bounty there as well. So they're feeling good at this early stage of the game, and it doesn't look like they're going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And while those 2 kills definitely feel good up in the top lane, they're on the 2 members you don't need it on most. So, you know, Cho'Gath did get 1 stack, Urgot gets a kill, but, like, you know, it's not the end of the world. They have so much damage that, you know, I should say, Outlaws does. There's so much damage, it's just, like, Urgot would need to be 20-0 to really feel like he can make a difference in this game. So, you know, I'm really looking for Pig to try and make something happen, get these bounties in the mid and bot lane, because if he's not able to, and, you know, Unholy Wolf and Big Dong Bandit keep pushing these, the spot lane, they're just going to keep dying on repeat here, so.
Yeah, it's going to be really important for them to just kind of slow the pace of this game down, you know, try to get one of these objectives, and I'm surprised nobody really made a move over there to the Ocean Dragon. And as I'm saying that, the pings are going to be coming out here, but TPs is available for Napquan, but not for Station, so we'll see if they end up using that advantage to get themselves that dragon, but it doesn't really look like they're going to even be moving to it just yet.
Yeah, I think Outlaws are more concerned with killing people than objectives, so, you know, I'm not too surprised.
Yeah, in a true Outlaw fashion. Hold on, though, because Napquan is going to get pulled back into the meat grinder. Going to get taken out there by Station. Now, on the bot side, there's more action going out. Big Dog Bandit might be going down as well. The auto attack comes out from Mako to finish him off, and now that's a free dragon for the Outlaws as well. They're feeling good after these last couple of minutes. While they may have lost their top lane, it's a Malphite. You kind of expect it. You're not expecting it to be the hard carry up there in the top lane. You really just need him for the ultimate there, but Mako has just been going off on this Pike pick. Now here comes the hero's entrance plus the paranoia. They're flying in. The entire team is here. Mako's going to get another kill there, but Nocturne is going to be taken out. Maki's not going to be feeling good after that one, but here on the bot side, the Fly as well, just ripping him a new one on the Twitch there. Going to AP Twitch that expunged there, dealing a ton of damage there. That Varus was not able to stay alive in the slightest.
Nope. This is the Fly's patented rat in a hat. He hasn't built his hat yet, but as you can see, Big Dog Bandit is actually just gonna die here.
Yeah, and my camera panned away from it because I guess it didn't seem it as important. And that Vel'Koz not looking like the best pick so far. 0 and 5, gonna be feeling real bad. You know, dying this many times. And now once again, the only answer that the Lions have is to keep picking on this top laner up here for Napquan. And while you're continuing to get kills on your Urgot and your Cho'Gath, it's a Malphite, right? He's going to get his utility out of ulting and finding these big flanks and things like that. So I think setting him behind is not really the priority you need. I think you need to start to stem the bleeding on the bot side, or else this Twitch and this Pyke are just going to take over the game completely.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly that. They need to be they need to kill this Twitch and Pyke, and you know, Pig just keeps focusing this top side, and you know, it feels good. You know, you feel good about the way you're playing and the way your top laner's playing, but then you know, you end up having a 5-0-2 Twitch, a 4-0-0 Pyke mid, and it's like Unholy Wolf.
Yep, and now the Fly is just gonna rip him apart as well. That spray and pray, the rat in the hat, as you're talking about, already looking for that hat here, but the Fly is just doing so much damage. These guys don't even have a chance on the bot side, and it's looking like a completely one-sided game, Ravens, man. I'm not sure when this one's gonna, you know, end here. We could be looking at a 20-minute game or, you know, 25-minute game here, because this one is just going so fast.
It might be a little, I would even go as far as to say this game could end at 18 minutes if they really tried, but, I mean, it's just like if you're Lions, what do? Like, Varus and Vel'Koz cannot step outside their turret range because Twitch is invisible and will one-shot you pretty much. I mean, so the Hail Blades allows you to get 3 stacks. You throw W first, which gets you probably 2 stacks because the slow makes it so that you can't get out of it in time. You get the 3 stacks from the Hail Blades, and you literally just profit. Like, they're dead. There's nothing they can do about it. So, you know, if you're as good at Twitch as you know, the Fly is specifically, you know, you can do stuff like that. And he's not even going for the rat in the hat. He's going for the rat with the book. He just grabbed up his Mechais, which, of course, was sitting at 10 stacks already from the Dark Seal. So, you know, it's just... You almost feel bad for Pig and Sation up here. Like, they're just they're trying their best, man.
They're trying their hardest, man, but this rat is carrying the plague, man. There's no chance that anybody's going to be able to survive a fight against him. But on the top side, a fight is breaking out as well. Napquan trying to find his best with the Unstoppable Force. Maki as well using the Paranoia, but here comes Gurf. Hero's entrance to get into 2 members. Now going to taunt up 1. Station is getting low here, but Napquan might be going down as well. Mako is here, though. Can he make the difference? Can he do it? He pulls it back with that Q. He's going to tear him a new one there with the ultimate. Mako's going to pick up another one and give that extra gold to his teammates to Fly here. Now hunting and seeking another one. Societal Shark is just going to get destroyed there. Not even going to get a chance to move. And now another Undertow is going to just take him out and take him down to the depths. And Big Dog Bandit might be the next one on the board. The Fly is going to destroy him as well. Man, in between these mid laner and his 80 carry for the Outlaw, that's going to be 16 kills at the 14-minute mark. These guys are popping off.
Popping off is considered an understatement, honestly. It's just, like, it's 14 minutes in and neither the AC nor the mid laner... Oh,
he's searching again. Oh, man.
Unholy Wolf or Societal Shark can even stay in the lane long enough to get 100 CS. Like, it's not even their fault. It's just like, what do you do? So... Alright.
Yeah, man. Not much to talk about in this one so far, honestly, man.
No,
it's pretty...
I mean, honestly, like, not to be, like, no offense to Lions or anything, this game's 90% over for the Outlaws, maybe a bit more. So, honestly, forget analyzing. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, because it's kind of interesting watching them blow up repeatedly.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how much a AP Twitch with 22 stacks of the Magi's can do to the members of the side of the Lions over here. But Gurf going to continue to look for some more action, definitely having the blood in his eyes and in his nose as he's looking for that one. Station here Gonna get pulled back here, and DeFly might be trying to find enough damage. He is just gonna continue to auto attack in. That's a whole lot of damage. They're tearing him apart. Mako finds one. Now he's gonna be using that invisibility to try and find another, but Maki's gonna take that one away from him. So Mako will not get another kill there on the board. Nav Quan is here as well. All 5 members now pushing down onto the mid lane towers. Unstoppable Force comes out. They find the Cho'Gath. Pick can't do anything but watch himself explode. And now Unholy Wolf might be able to find 2 back, but that's all he can really find. They still lost that mid tower. They still lost 3 members, and and he's gone. As you're saying, Ravens, man, I can't even finish my point without seeing someone die here. But overall, I think this one's going to be a quick one. If you're asking me, if you're asking me from how many games I've watched, there's not much else I can say about this one. DeFly and Mako are just too far ahead of the competition, and now Lions are going to just have to watch themselves die.
Honestly, like, it goes from a point where it's funny, so you gotta wonder if we need to start thinking of, like, you know, banning these players for hate crimes, you know, something. They're just not letting them play the League of Legends game.
Oh, man. It's pure bullying out here on the Rift, man. This is just completely one-sided. Somebody's getting a swirly in the toilet drain while the other one's just pushing him in with his foot. So the Outlaws definitely keeping to their names. You know, coming out with the Outlaws popping off already. You see their 21 kills in between Mako and DeFly. It's just disgusting to see, man. Even Maki over there having to take one away from him just so he could get on the board, man. But Nav Quan up here is just sitting pretty, knowing he's, you know, getting a free ride into this victory. Did have that nice unstoppable force in the last fight, but overall it is for sure the DeFly and Mako show, and it's no surprise here, man. You said it in the draft that Mako is insane on the pike, and DeFly as well, having this AP Twitch that he can just pull out whenever. They're just, you know, putting on a show with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see this again, so, you know, enjoy it while you can before it gets permabanned for the rest of the season. But, yeah, Mako and DeFly definitely putting on the carry pants, making the backpack extra large for Nopquan and Maki. Not that, you know, they're playing bad or anything, it's just like they literally don't need to do anything except hop in the backpack. Gurf's making some nice initiations. He's the, you know, the unsung hero sitting here at 0-0-13 on the Galio. He's got some really good ults around the map, and I mean, you know, like I said, Maki and Nopquan literally don't need to do anything this entire game. So, and we got Mako back on the hunt here.
Yep, there he goes, prowling around again. DeFly's gonna tear 2 to pieces. Mako and DeFly, that is just too much damage, man. Somebody's gotta take that out of the game. 25 stacks on the match right now. Deathcap completed. DeFly is just unstoppable, man. And that AP Twitch is just starting to show its head, and it's gonna. We'll see if it. You're honestly right, man. It's probably gonna be permanent after this.
Yeah, you want to hear the best part about this AP Twitch? This is nerfed AP Twitch. This used to be even stronger. It got nerfed twice. Like, it's just I'm just like flabbergasted at what is happening right now. And here we go again.
Yeah, Mako is continuing to look. Throws out the hook. It isn't gonna land this time around. They are going to continue. The Phantom Undertow comes out. Station is going to get taunted up as well. They're going to be looking for the first kill. That's the first one going down. Unstoppable Force into the back line. Heroes Entrance now coming in as well. They're going to continue to find it. They're going to be finding 1, 2. This is going to be the third as well. Only the Vel'Koz and Unholy Wolf are alive. Big Dog Bandit. That big dog ain't looking so big no more, man. They just got destroyed in that last fight. The Outlaws, are looking to just turn this one into pieces. Ready to end this one off at the 20-minute mark. Looking to make it under 20 minutes, man. And 29-7 is the scoreline, and it's probably going to be the end here.
All I'm saying is if they really tried, they could have gotten 18 minutes. But 19 and a half, nothing to scoff at. GG, well played. If you could even say that, honestly.
Yeah, man. If you could even...
Yeah, all I'm saying, I think we need to ban Mako and DeFly for hate crimes from League of Legends in general. Forget Legends, just get them out of the game, you know. But definitely well played from Outlaws. If you're Lions, you do exactly what Flip Trick just said in the chat, which is move on and forget that one ever happened. And when somebody references it, you say, "What game? What game are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about."
Exactly, man. Which game were you talking about is the real question there, and we'll see.
We're 0-2, not 0-3.
Just move on to the next one. You just gotta come out and forget that one even happened. And there's the damage charts, man, and that is insane. 21,000 damage in a 20-minute game there for the Fly. That is disgusting. A disgusting performance there on the Twitch. And overall, though, man, that was just insane to see how those guys popped off. And it was just disgusting, man. That was a disgusting performance out of these guys. I have nothing else to say. These guys just came out here and popped off.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they banned out a bunch of Lions did. They banned out a lot of more meta picks from specifically Mako. But like they forgot about their main two champions, which is Pyke and Twitch. Like they target banned and then didn't target the right things. So kind of just yeah, I don't know. That's it. Game's over. We forget that one ever happened.
Yeah, try to forget that one happened. I'm just going to get this one out here real quick, Ravens, man. Make sure you guys vote for your player of the game. I think it's going to be in between Mako and the Fly over there. Those guys just completely destroyed everybody, but yeah, go ahead.
My final words, really, because there's not much left to analyze. Just, like, I'm just glad the game ended at 19 and a half minutes, because if this game went another 5-10 minutes, you know, the Fly might have actually broken my on-stream kill record, which we can't have that happening. So I'm thankful they did end the game that fast. So thank you, Outlaws, but stop. Don't do that again.
Don't pull it out again, since Ravens, man, everybody. But for now, I think since this one ended so fast, we might have a little bit of a longer break as we wait for everybody else to load in from the other game, as they are playing as well. But again, man, the Outlaws putting on a show, putting on their carry pants, Word to Fly and Mako, and Napquan and Maki, while they were up there in the top lane, and Jungle over there, they were just, watching it go by. They were just watching their team destroy everybody. Gurf as well there with some good engages. So, again, everybody make sure you vote in chat for the player of the game here. And, again, guys, it was insane to see these guys pop off this crazily, because, goddamn, man, that was nasty. All right, so
Yeah.
with that all being said, guys, we're gonna head it off into a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to see where we are and to vote and to show you who the player of the game was. But we'll be back in a few. But for now, enjoy some music and wait for us to come back. We'll be right back on the desk. All right, everybody. Welcome back. We're here again after that insanely disgusting win over the Lions. I think the Outlaws deserve some praise there, but first thing we got to do is shout out our player of the game here, and it is the Fly. It is going to be the Fly there, ending with a KDA of 17, 0, and 7, popping off on the AP Twitch of all things, man. Ravens man was saying it best on the cast there. Rat in the hat, having that Rabidon's death cap and just popping off there. Excited to see that for the Fly over there. And surprising that it even got through the draft, but overall, though, this guy just put on a show, man. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I mean, we do need to make a slight edit to the rat in the hat icon so we can give him a book too, because pretty sure the Fly had 25. Yeah, I mean, he had 25 stacks of Medjai's probably for about half that game, to be honest with you. So, definitely needs his book alongside it. But yeah, I mean, the Fly was just popping up mid. I mean, popping up bot, literally ganking his own lane. Didn't think it was possible, but in 2v1s, spray and pray, kill everybody. It didn't matter. He was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So
yeah, man, they couldn't even find him if they wanted to. That guy, I remember the last fight, man. He two-shotted the Varus there, man. 2 autos in the E, the expunge, just took him out right off the map, man. And that was insane. And shout out to you, man, for pulling up this picture, because I would not have put this up. But the rat in the hat.
Yeah, the Fly sent it to me in my Discord DMs, and I knew it had to be player of the game when he got it. So shout out to him for the icon, but God bless this amazing icon for existing in the first place.
For real, man. And oh man, that was just insane to see it. I love seeing when these kind of off meta picks or off meta builds at least come out and just put on a show like that. And when you got an AP Twitch and a Pike mid running around the map killing everybody, there's nothing but excitement in the room. So I love to see things like that, man. And again, it was just insane to see. So the Outlaws will move up, get another win or get a win on the board there. So they're feeling good after this week. We are still waiting for the next match to start here. I believe the players are still in their game, so it is going to be a little while until we can get into that one. But overall, though, man, I think this was a great first game to start off the day, and I'm excited for what the second game of the day is going to bring. Hopefully it's more competitive, a little bit more competitive than this one. I'm not saying not to diss any of the players on the side of the Lions, but just see a little bit more of not as much of a one-sided game, rather.
Yeah. Sorry, I was watching one of my friends was streaming. He's on Dragons, and they just backdoored the base to win the game, and he stopped all the backs around the Baron pit. So that was pretty interesting to watch.
All right, you guys heard it here, man. The Dragons backdoor somebody, yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Dragons. I don't know who they were facing though. But yeah, definitely that was an interesting thing to watch. But yeah, that last game was interesting. I'm hoping we get a little bit of grounding here, a little sense of normalcy coming into this next one. But it's League of Legends, and whenever I cast, pardon my language, but shit hits the fan, so we're likely to see another 19-minute, 20 to 30 kill game. No big deal.
Man, as long as it's a banger, I'm gonna love to see it regardless. So I think that's all we got to say about this game. So going to the next one, it is gonna be the Hornets versus the Wolves. And it should be a pretty good game. I'm excited. Some of these players returning again. Giggle over there on the Hornets and Jar Jar over here on the Wolves. These guys are gonna, obviously big names around the Legends and have been around for since last draft as long as I've been around. So that's why I know their names. But overall, man, I'm excited to see what they can do going into this next game, and we'll see what how it's gonna end up, because I'm not too familiar on some of these other players in the games, but I know Giggle and I know Jar Jar, and when these guys are playing in the game, I know they're ready to get aggressive and get some kills.
Yeah, and just so you know, real fast, Flip Trick did say that I'm a little quiet on the stream supposedly. So I don't know if that's something you can fix at all, but yeah, just want to let you know.
All right, let me see if I can turn you up here. I think I did. I have you on max volume on Discord, so if that's it, then that might have fixed the problem, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll see here.
All right. Well, yeah. Flip Trick, let us know if it's better. If not, I can always turn up my microphone volume too. So, but yeah. So I believe both these teams are undefeated, although I don't know the outcome of the previous games. Um, let's see if any match history links have been posted yet. Oh, we do. We
I
have
think
some.
I can pull it up here. Give me a second here. Let's see.
Dragons beat Stallions, Unicorns beat Crusaders, and that's all I can see, unfortunately.
So the standings on
Um,
the day before this one started for Pool A at least, Hornets were 2-0 and the Wolves were 1-1. So Hornets coming out hot on the first week, man.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought they were one of the stronger teams coming straight out of the draft. Especially since Giggle got it was either three, I think it was three members of his LAS pre-made team and one. I mean, I don't want to use the word oddball, but yeah, oddball pretty much. So I mean, it wasn't entirely, the same team, but there's that synergy. There's the fact that they're, you know, sorry, my brain's not cooperating.
You're good, man. Like the fact that
The
they're
synergy
teammates,
and
right?
yeah, and I had the same sort of thing last season when we won LRS draft with Spartans, which was I had some carryover with players with a pre-made team, so like practice works double, like it's doubly effective if that makes any sense. You're practicing for both teams at that point. So, if your draft team is 4/5 of your pre-made team and your pre-made team practices, that's basically a practice for your draft team already. So, it allows you to accelerate a lot faster, especially
Yeah.
since draft really does come down to which, at least at the start of the season, which team meshes first.
Yeah.
That's what I tell a lot of people when they first join the league. It really does depend upon about meshing and less about, um, micro. I mean, micro matters, but not as much as getting along with your teammates does. We see a lot of these trades, in the midseason, which,
Yeah.
we'll be able to start seeing after this week. I believe the trade window opens for 2 weeks is the new, maybe it's 3. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that should shake things up. But trades allow you to get away from a potentially bad situation or get rid of a bad situational player. But I mean, overall, it it comes down to meshing, and then you get some trades where, like we saw last season with the Gators, which I'm not going to comment on if that RNG trade was necessarily fair, but you know, you get stuff like that where a team just accelerates through the standings, becomes the number one
Yeah.
team for sure, and
And
it's
then
just like,
runs the playoffs, man. They're
yeah,
popping off for
exactly.
sure.
So I mean, it's stuff like that. So I'm excited for the end, basically the end of today. I believe trade window will open at pretty much 10 o'clock. I don't know if any captains have started, asking those questions yet, but it definitely seems like something that could be a possibility. But I am excited to start seeing these announcements come in of player trades over the next, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. So that should definitely shake up the league. But I think one of the teams we probably won't see any trades from is going to be Hornets. They're probably very happy with where they're at. Although I think they did lose um, to Rhinos, but I'm not 1000% sure on that. So we'll have to wait to get confirmation on that. But nonetheless, they're still one of the stronger teams in the league right now.
Yep.
And Wolves probably up there too. Jar Jar's a pretty phenomenal support. Brought Wolves all the way to the finals last season, which was, no small feat when you had the likes of Dragons and Crusaders out there. So, yeah, kind of interesting.
Pretty
We'll have to
crazy,
wait and
man.
see.
Pretty crazy, man. We're definitely gonna have to see. And I don't know if I have permission from these guys to send it off to break. I think the guys just got out of the game, so I'm excited, man. I think we're still just waiting for Jar Jar to get out of his. Currently in a 38-minute banger, so we'll see how that one
Dang.
ends up after that. But yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting how these guys, how it turns out for these guys. And as you're talking about with these draft windows opening up, how these teams are just going to switch up and move around, because that's the exciting thing about having these draft leagues is you can move players around if you don't want them, and you can keep the guys you want. And of course, everybody ends up getting a spot anyway. But it's always nice to see how these super teams end up getting formed, or how these these bottom or these lower tier teams end up starting to make a rise through the standings. So that's the thing I like to see when it comes to these draft leagues. But overall, I think we've talked enough about how these the draft leagues and everything going on with this game, and how the Lions ended up losing out to the Outlaws. So unless you got anything else to say, Ravens, I'm gonna send it to a just a music break and let the play while we do wait for the games.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right, guys, and we'll be back in a few. Once everybody is back and ready to go, we'll be back to bring you the next set of the game, which is going to be the Wolves versus the Hornets. Should be a banger of a game.
強く強く輝いて消えた流れ星ほら命が燃える
All right, everybody. Without further ado, we're right back into this one, getting right underway already. Everybody's ready to go. We got both teams already loaded in, so no waiting for anybody. It's going to be the Wolves versus the Hornets for Game 2, and I'm excited to see what these guys are going to bring to the table this time around. It's always nice to see when these players can come back into the draft leagues and show their stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And before we get into this draft, I need to have a brief moment of silence for the opposite of the undefeated streak that the Guardians had. I believe they went 0-17 and they finally or 0-18 and they finally won their first game literally 20 minutes ago. So let's go Guardians! The opposite of a silence.
Woo!
Go,
Yeah,
go.
let's go. Let's
Anyway.
go, Guardians. Picking up their first dub. Let's go.
Yes, sir. But anyway, we do see the Echo being banned from the Wolves side on the Hornets. I'm guessing that's got to be a web special. Also could be a flex ban because he can go jungle. See the Urgot being banned away from Feathers and Fur. I know that's one of his specialties. And the response is the Rumble. Normally what you see coming out from the drafts, we saw it a bit last game from Outlaws. I pointed out that Lions were banning more comfort picks and Outlaws were banning more meta. So, you know, we see stuff like the Rumble being banned on blue side. That normally implies that you obviously have no intention of playing it, but that it also implies that you can't play it, or that you're looking for something specific, something like a Morgana, a Varus, a Jinx, an Udyr is still sort of, you know, up there. But I mean, Nocturne is first pickable, and we see at least 4 of those up currently with 2 bans left. So we are probably going to see the likes of an Udyr, a Varus, a Jinx, or a what was the last one I said? Udyr, Varus, Jinx, Nocturne are the 4 first picks I would expect coming out from the Wolves here. Oh, and Tristana. I did forget about Tristana. So we're gonna have to see what they prioritize here. If I'm them, just looking at their, you know, their team spread, I would guess they're gonna look for maybe a Varus. Varus is a pretty comfortable ADC. He's not too hard to, you know, mess up, quote unquote. Not that I'm saying Master Uguay is bad or anything. Just, you know, it's not too difficult to pull off. So curious what they go for here. The other option, in my opinion, would be the Nocturne, which you can flex 3 ways. One of, you know, my personal favorite junglers at the moment to play in solo queue, so we'll have to see what they end up doing here.
Yeah, and it is gonna be the Akali first pick there, so not too sure on the pick. You usually want to save your mid and top lane for counter pick, usually at the second stage of the draft, but you know, opting in for it here for either Eulaw or Feathers and Fur, so we'll see where it ends up going. But for now, you know, Akali, one of these champions that in recent patches has started to rise a little bit in the win rates just because of the changes she's had, and you know, the 5-point strike or Q having a little bit reduced mana cost, or excuse me, energy cost, and just different changes. I don't know them entirely, but I know there have been a few of them that have, you know, allowed her to come back into the meta somewhat. So we'll see if this ends up playing into why she's in this game now, and if she's going to be strong in this game, because she is going to be up against an Orianna for the side of the Hornets.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the reason I don't mention the Akali is just because she scales with how good you are at the game, and obviously, you know, no offense to these players, this is a gold cap league, so it does get a little bit on the, you know, you have to be really, really comfortable on a champion like Akali in this level of play to get it to work. I don't know a lot about mid-top matchups, but if I'm Hornets here, I'm assuming that this is the mid and top they've grabbed. In their mind, they've grabbed 2 champions that they think can beat Akali. So now she is in a losing matchup no matter what. Would be my guess for what they've just done. We'll have to wait and see. We do see the Nunu coming out from Wolves. Just kind of an annoying champion. I ban him no matter what champion I'm, you know, what role I'm playing. It doesn't matter if I'm jungle, I don't want him spam ganking my laners, and if I'm playing the lane, I don't want to be spam ganked by him. So, you know, might as well get off the table, but we do see Underage Rat going to be piloting the Yeti this game. If I'm Wolves, though, you know, we still have Nocturne, we still have Varus, we still have Jinx, we still have Udyr, although they have their jungler already, so it's like. And if they pick Nocturne here, they have another double flex, but instead they're going to go with Jar Jar's patented Leona,
Yep.
so can't fault them for that, but I really would have liked to see Nocturne here just because they could have had a double mid-top flex. So Hornets literally wouldn't know where that's going until draft phase is done. 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, that's the last chance.
It'd be pretty hard to tell, man.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's something that Wolves might want to look at, and if you're Hornets, it's something you might want to look at banning too. But we do see the Zilean being picked up here, trying to deny the Akali ult execute from somebody, in addition to the Leona all-in, because that is a lot of single target stuff she has. And we also are going to see the Cho'Gath banned away from Feathers and Fur. So if I'm Hornets here, they've got to be assuming Yulaw is piloting the Akali. I've seen him play it once in like lobby 1 when he was streaming a normal game.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad at it. He was pretty good at it, but we'll have to wait and see. I really like this ban from Wolves. I've seen Giggle's Vayne firsthand, and it is quite nasty to see.
Disgusting, man. Disgusting.
Yeah. He asked me to do a VOD review with him, and I was like, "No, you played fine. Like, like you played really well. Good job." But pretty heavy ADC focused bans in the second rotation. We got Jhin, Vayne, and Jinx off the table. If I'm Hornets here, I'd probably draft an ADC. Again, if I'm Wolves, please draft this Nocturne. It is such a good pick here. Like, Hornets are more than likely not going to take it. They have their mid and top. Granted, they still have their jungler to go, but like, you really want to pick ADC here if you're Hornets, because you know, you just banned 3 of them. Tristan is off the table. You've still got Varus up. Might as well just pick Varus. But we'll have to wait and see what they do here. Clock's ticking down. It is going to be Sivir.
Okay. All right. Not the most exciting pick, man. It doesn't seem like you're too excited about it, but you know, Sivir, really good AD carry if she can get to 4 to 5 items.
So Sivir's fine here. Her ult is always going to be her ult. She's always going to give movement speed to her opponents. What I really hate is picking Sivir into Leona. You think, spell shield, great. Except for the fact that if you spell shield Leona E, she still goes to you and you get Q'd anyway. You just don't get rooted. If you spell shield her Q after getting E'd, it is near impossible. So the only thing you can realistically spell shield is her ult. So overall, not my favorite pick. I also not a fan of Caitlyn into Sivir, because Sivir just eats your traps and calls them mana potions. But, you know, really good if you can harass, really good if you can chain CC between Leona and the
set up the traps.
Set up the traps. So, and I mean, both these ADC and the support are very, very squishy. So if you land CC on anybody, you're at least forcing out a Zillion or, you know, something like that. But
okay.
Alright, no Nocturne. I'm gonna push aside the meta. Besides Urgot, I think this is like Feathers and Fur other signature champion. He loves this champion from like doing the stats last season, seeing what he was doing over on Raw Gold. You know, he really did play a lot of Alawi, and he really piloted it very well from what I saw. So definitely interested to see what goes on. I mean, at this point, if you're Hornets, you really can't gank the top lane, but we are going to see the pivot here. Volibear is going to be the new, you know, the jungler. We're going to see Darius coming out to answer the Alawi. I think that's a winning matchup for... I don't actually know who that's a winning matchup for. I don't know much about top lane, to be honest, so...
I believe the Darius bleed helps you with the lane, but other than that, Alawi usually takes over some of these more melee-heavy matchups.
Yeah, I mean, I know she loses to a lot of full-on all-in, like Tryndamere and Mordekaiser, but I mean, Darius kind of fits the bill there, but still, that's... I don't know. It's hard to say because you don't see a lot of Alawi players. So let me check u.gg, see what they think.
Yeah, for sure. I'll fill in the empty space here while you're checking that out. But again, man, we're seeing these interesting drafts come out here. The Leona Caitlyn over here on the side of the Wolves should be a pretty decently strong lane when it comes in terms to aggression, right? versus the Silver Zillion. So they're going to be wanting to go fast, go ham. Not to mention you got a ball delivery service with the Volley Bear. You speed boost your team here with the Darius. I can see how these synergies, kind of were theory crafted in their head. So, I'm gonna be interested to see how they can pull these combos off, and if they are able to pull the combos off, how the team fights are gonna go. Because the Wolves over here, they don't have a team fight to slouch on themselves, right? They got the Nunu here to tank up any engage to start things off, an assassin in the Akali, not to mention a Lowy who at the later stages of the game can just become one of the fattest drain tanks known to man. Well, honestly, it's going to come down to execution, whether these picks are going to work out for them. They did end up picking that Akali first, so definitely having a lot of confidence in Eulaw's Akali there. So I'm going to be interested to see what he can do on the champion. And when you're coming out with that much confidence to first pick your mid laner, you're definitely going to be having some prowess on the champion. And as you were saying, though, it is a champion that scales with higher levels of play. Honestly, if you're going to be popping off on Akali, just pull it out, man. I want to see it. If even if you go like 7 and 8, at least we gotta see you be flashy on the champion. And those are the types of things that I do like to see when it comes to that. Again, it's gonna be that Volley Bear stuck in the jungle there alongside the Darius top. So Darius here did get hit a little bit with his E ability in the last patch in 11.10. I believe his apprehend was raised at all ranks when it came to the cooldown on that ability. So a little bit of a nerf. We'll see if it makes a big difference here. It's not usually the ability that you max first, so that ends up kind of being a little bit of a downfall or a downward trend in terms of how often you're able to use that ability because you don't max it first. So we'll see what they end up doing here, but it is just how we played it out. Silver Zillion on the bot side for the Hornets, while the Caitlyn and Leona over here for the side of the Wolves.
Yeah, and I did get the stats on both the mid and the top because I wasn't sure about the mid lane matchup either. So top lane seems to be a skill matchup. It was 50.7% win rate for Darius, so pretty much a 50-50 split at that point. I mean, it really comes down to, I would imagine Darius wins early and Alawi wins later. As far as the mid lane goes, Orianna does have a 51.7% win rate against Akali, but that's still nothing to write home about. Still seems like a pretty even lane. Really comes down to if Webb can hold Eulaw from rotating down to the spot lane. I mentioned they're very squishy. They die pretty much instantly the second you look at them the wrong way. So again, just like I was saying last game, it's up to Eulaw in the vice versa sense that he has to get out of this lane and into different lanes, because Orianna can build Verdant Barrier, and if she really wants, Merc Treads wouldn't be terrible in this game, especially since it's a Leona, a Caitlyn, and a Kali. That's magic damage coming in from Nunu as well. Merc Treads and Merc Treads and Verdant Barrier would make her pretty much unkillable. She'd have to severely get outplayed in order to really die there. But Eulaw should definitely be looking to roam into the spot lane, get this Caitlyn rolling, get herself rolling by killing Silver and Zillion. I mean, there's really not much they can do.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot they can do. If they do end up getting, just kind of gangbang down there on the bot side, it's not going to be a whole lot that they can do to survive that. Yeah, you got the Zillion R and the speed boost in between those two champions, but as you're talking about, man, that's a whole lot of damage in between those two guys. And if you're getting 4-man down there for the side of the Hornets, it's going to be real hard to even have a chance down there. So definitely going to be seeing if the Orianna over here for Webb is going to be taking teleport. It's going to be pretty much necessary if you're playing against this Akali here, just because of how she's able to roam around the map. If she has free reign of the lane, right, and doesn't get pushed in as hard. We'll see how that ends up going. But you were talking about how you hate this Nunu pick, man, and I gotta agree with you. It can be one of the most oppressive junglers to play against if you're not versed in facing it that often. It just has so much objective control. It has one of the healthiest clears I know of, and against the Volley Bear here, who likes to spam gank just as much as the Nunu, it is going to be interesting to see how that matchup plays out. Just because of this Volley Bear, we've been seeing a little bit of it in MSI as well, as we kind of talked about last game about how some picks are coming back. Volley Bear has kind of shown its face here and there in the last couple of days. So hit stick, pulling it out here. Maybe he's probably comfortable on the champion here, and when you have a ball delivery service as Oriana here, and you have this Volibear who can just run fast with the Sivir and a Zillion, I can see how that team fight, or at least that setup for a fight, works out. Because with Volibear's Stormbringer, he is unstoppable, so you can just run through a team fight, jump into the back line, and just tear them apart with the Shockwave and Stormbringer combo. Layer some Darius damage on top of that, and you got a wipe team fight right down the middle.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can end up making that wombo happen. That's my favorite part of League of Legends, right? Theory crafting these, how these different fights might go out. So with only about 15 seconds left, make sure you vote for who you think will win. Is it going to be the Wolves or is it going to be the Hornets? We got a decent matchup here. Good comps out here. I'm excited to see what's going to go down in between these two teams, and I'm ready for what's going to be happening because this is going to be a fatty of a game.
Yeah, for sure. So, we'll see you after this short break while we load in the game. Catch you on the flip side.
For sure.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me, let's be free.
All right, everybody, thanks for holding in with that brief break. We are back right into it. It is going to be a good matchup here on the day. We got the Wolves versus the Hornets, and before we start anything here, we are going to just give a quick rundown of both teams. Over here on the blue side, we do got the Wolves. Feathers and Fur in the top lane playing Alawi. Underage Rat over there in the jungle playing Nunu, but let me stop this because we might be seeing some action here. Hit stick, just going to get that auto attack off and run away. But going back to over here on the blue side, we got Yula over there in the mid lane playing Akali, who he managed the first pick for himself. They wanted that champion. Master Uguay and Jar Jar down there on the bot side for the Wolves, running that Kaylin and Leona. Now for the red side over here for the Hornets, we got Darius up there in the top lane playing Fuck Range Tops. Hit stick over here playing Volibear. Web in the mid lane playing Oriana and Giggle, and Perky Tricks down there in the bot lane playing Sivir and Zillion, the Go Fast duo.
Yes. So we did get a question in the chat asking who we thought had the better draft, won the draft, whatever. It's kind of just like, it's pretty even, is what I was mentioning when we were in the break there. I would give the slight advantage to Hornets. They've got a more cohesive unit. You know, obviously you've got the Go Fast duo in the bot lane that can speed up this Volibear, get in the middle of them with the Oriana ult, and then Darius to, layer on top like that. When it comes to Wolves on the opposite side, it's much more about individual performances. You've got, Alawi can take over a fight, Feathers and Fur, very good at that champion. Underage Rat can make these amazing ganks happen and really get his laners rolling, as we see him already doing in the bot lane.
Yeah, we're already seeing it here. He's coming out already with the Nunu ball, almost making it happen. Not able to get that knock up there, but he is just going to be feeling just fine over there. So not feeling too bad after that attempt of a gank. They are still doing just fine down on the bot side for the side of the Hornets. And, these matchups might be a little bit volatile, especially this top lane.
Sure. And like I was saying, it also comes down to Yulaw here, as we see another gank in the mid lane. Web's going to have to blow a splash. Yeah.
Web didn't see that one coming for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're Hornets, like, I would trade this Oriana flash here, okay? It's not the end of the world. If Hitstick keeps farming, like, I was going to talk about this before we went to break, but I didn't get a chance to. So, the big way to counter Nunu, quote-unquote, is scuttle control, right? hang on, because we see another gank happening in the top lane here.
Yes, it is. Feathers and Fur might be getting hit down and hit around. The Apprehend is going to come out, or excuse me, that is going to pull him back into that. First blood over there to the Darius already. Range stop is going off. Going to be flashing in. You know, blows his flash for flash, but, you know, he gets the kill off of that, and it's going to be 400 gold on a Darius. And that can start to snowball a game if you let it. So we'll see if Underage Rat over there, you know, decides to do something for that top lane.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you know, it really comes down to scuttle control. So we see Hitstick already down here for the crab, but he has no answer. He needs to leave right now.
Speaking of scuttle control here, Hitstick is getting quite low. Underage Rat, though, is getting low as well. But this is going to be a 3-man squad from the Wolves fighting back onto the Volley Bear. Hitstick could not really do anything there. He was by himself, and a little bit of questionable of a walk up towards that scuttle crab, and it is going to cost him a little bit. He does have to use that flash to get away, but it's not going to be the end of the world again. He is going to be just fine still, even in CS, and that bot scuttle was taken by him, so he's still doing just fine in this game.
Well, no, he actually didn't take it. That's just a ward placed by his bot lane. Yeah, so...
Yep. Little scuttle crab.
It does feel kind of bad. Like, as you can see right now, Nunu's already ganking mid again with no flash.
Underage Rat just does not care if he has flash or not. Webb wants to get in here, and, you know, blowing that ability earlier just basically guarantees that this happens. And Feathers and Fur, while he's getting burned down here, Range Tops picks up another kill up there on the top side, this time being a solo kill. 1,000 gold in the lead already for the Hornets. And they're just trying to get out to the races. They're putting all their gold into the top lane basket here, into the Darius basket. So we'll see if it ends up paying off at the later stages. But for now, you know, the Wolves answer back with that mid lane gank as well.
Yeah, and while on paper I think it does look like the Hornets are better off here, the Wolves are actually a little bit in a better scenario here. Nunu currently has both the scuttles, and the reason I talk about scuttle crab priority with Nunu so much is basically you sit on the scuttle crab and wait until you see an opportunity to gank either in the mid lane, the top lane, the bot lane, wherever. And as soon as that opportunity starts, you roll your snowball right through that you know, speed up shrine. You gain all this movement speed from it, and you just instantly, you know, get in their face and kill them. So, you know, definitely looking for him to keep ganking Webb right now, or Darius in the top lane. Not gonna say his name, but you know, you really want to be focusing on these two lanes that don't have flash, don't have ghost. If you're, you know, if you're Darius, Webb doesn't have TP, so if you're able to deny a wave from him, you know, that's a huge deal. Can't get back in time. So, you know, really is up to Underage Rat to keep these, you know, this scuttle crab priority, keep, you know, being able to make these ganks happen. If he starts power farming on Nunu, you know, he's playing the game wrong. So, really looking for him to get this agency going.
Yeah, but it's gonna be, the onus is really gonna be onto them, right? The Wolves were able to get those ganks off, and, you know, if Nunu can't get off to the races, right, he doesn't have a whole lot of utility when it comes to you know, some of these team fights. He can really just throw a snowball in and use his ult, and that's most you're going to get out of him besides, you know, tanking up a bunch of damage. I really want to see him, you know, kind of just start to look for some of these objectives down here on the bot side. You see that Infernal Dragon has just spawned, and I would like to see him go for it, but it does look like he's going to wrap around towards the jungle of the Hornets. For now, though, Hitstick and Range Tops are looking for this engage onto Feathers and Fur. They are going to be able to find a bit of damage, and Range Top is going to pick up another kill. 3-0 is the Darius already.
Yeah, and Feathers and Fur really just not respecting, I mean, anything at this point. He really needs to get this wave state under control.
Oh, okay, Jar Jar flashing in, getting that Q down. They're trying to find that extra damage. That 90 caliber net is going to land as well. Perky Tricks almost goes down, but the Ignite's just going to take down a little bit more. Jar Jar, though, getting low on the other side as well. That W is going to get him some extra tankiness, so he is going to stay alive. For now, though, Hitstick and Webb are moving into the blue side jungle here. They are going to be looking for a fight here. Are we going to see it happen? Webb is getting low as well, but Yulaw is in the pit taking damage as well from the Dragon. Hitstick trying to find a way in, but contesting against a Nunu is going to be quite hard. Is he going to be able to do it? The Ignite is going to come out, but it's going to be an auto attack that takes it at the end of the day. Underage finds it at the end of the day. It's going to be a fight breaking out here. Jar Jar is getting real low. That's going to be the first one going down, so 1 for 1 already. Now can they find more? Master Uguay picking up the kill onto Hitstick. Here comes Yulaw. It goes flying back in with the shuriken flip, and they find that kill, so it's going to be a 2 for 1 for the side of the Wolves. They come out on top in that one.
Yeah, that was just really such a messy fight. I mean, the dragon got down to 40 HP, and then I don't know. It was just kind of a mess. Wolves managed to come out on top. The most tragic part of that fight was uh, Giggle flashing forward to secure the kill onto Underage Rat, only to A-click and lose vision on him, so he auto-attacked, I believe it was Yulaw instead, and ended up going down for it. So really tragic if you're Hornets there. That feels pretty bad, especially losing the dragon that early, and you were able to contest it in the first place. So gonna have to wait and see, how they respond to this. But it's still up to Underage Rat here to keep this game snowballing, no pun intended, in their favor. So we're gonna have to wait and see if they can manage to do it.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to get out to the map and start making some plays because this top lane is not going to be your win condition, right? This is an Alawi that is 2 levels down, only has that phase, the Iron Spike whip to help Darius clear the wave over there on the other side. So the top lane is kind of ungankable for the side of the Nunu, so he really has to make the plays around the map, try to get some extra pressure into the bot lane, into this mid lane, try to shut down that Orianna even more, keep her from roaming around to help her team. Because that's honestly what Webb is going to keep trying to do. Just move around the map, try to be there for the plays before they happen. And for now, though, he has been able to farm evenly against the Akali here, while Ranged Tops has been kind of blowing up that top lane even more. It's, about a 30 CS lead for that Darius, as well as those 3 kills in his back pocket. This guy is going to be very hard to deal with unless they can, stop the bleeding and kind of slow the game down a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. It's definitely up to Range Tops currently to carry his team on his back in the mid game here. But I gotta give props to Giggle and Perky. Into Leona, Caitlyn, I would definitely have figured they'd be much worse off. And currently, they're playing their range properly. They're playing, everything they can properly, and they're not getting railed, which for this lane is winning. Like seriously. So, I mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of like bad. I mean, I'm not trying to blame him. Bad job on Master Uguay. He really needs to be looking for a lot more of these auto attack trades, looking to pressure with. Excuse me. Looking to pressure with his headshot damage. He's sitting on Noon Quiver. That's a big spike, but he's just more focused on farming instead of actually trying to, do what you pick Caitlyn for, which is really pressure the lane.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, right? You can hard push these lanes. That's what you expect your Caitlyn to do. And so far in this game, Giggle's been on the other side of that. He's getting those boomerang tosses in, getting those ricochets to help him clear the wave, and Giggle's just been able to do it better than Master Uguay this time around.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this lane's going to play out, or how these two AD carries are going to be going into the 15-minute mark here, as it is approaching in about 4 minutes. But we'll see what ends up happening down there. For now, though, on the top side, more action. Range Tops is trying to find another kill. Feathers and Fur can't really do much except use her leap of faith to jump off a cliff there. She can't really do a whole lot against that Darius at this point in time. So it's just gonna be a little bit harder to deal with that top laner of the side of the Hornets if you are the Wolves right now.
That's a wee bit of a scary Dairy in the top lane there.
Yeah. Okay. Jar Jar looking for the engage here. He goes in, uses the ultimate to lock him down. Here comes Master Uguay as well, flashing in, but the Chrono Break, or the Chrono Shift, is going to bring him back to health. He's going to be alive here, but Perky Tricks is trying to do his best. I almost said the other thing, but he's going to blow one back in the other favor. Hit stick is here, though. They are trying to find the engage. They are trying to find the fight. They want to continue on the side of the Hornets. They're trying to do their best to keep on running down the Wolves. The Wolves are trying to do their best to get away, but the bites are going in. Here comes the Stormbringer. They're going in onto Jar Jar as well. They're trying to find the damage. This could just be what the Hornets needed to continue this snowball even farther. And Feathers of Fur can't do anything except get smacked around by this Darius. Is now going to use that Soul Steal to try and save himself, but Range Tops is just way too strong. And on the bot side, they just made a huge play for the side of the Hornets as well.
Yeah, action all over the map here, and just as I was about to start talking about how good Giggle is playing this bot lane, he does go ahead and die. Ignoring all just what happened, just because that was just everything just happened there. I mean, Range Tops gets 1 kill, then a bot lane fight happens, then he gets another kill. I think he's 3 levels up on Feathers and Fur right now, but what I was gonna talk about right before all that hectic started was, you mentioned that Sivir's doing a better job pushing into Caitlyn. That's actually what you picked Sivir for into this matchup, which is why I didn't understand the Caitlyn pick when it came out. You pick Sivir into Caitlyn A because, like I mentioned in the draft, they her traps count as mana potions. But B, you also push the lane faster than she can push it into you. And when you're playing Caitlyn, you kind of need the enemy to be under the tower so you can auto them without getting hit by the tower. They have to focus on CSing. There's not much they can do, but Sivir can obviously do it quite a bit better. So Giggle has been playing this matchup well. Obviously, you don't want to auto shove, but he's doing a good job keeping the wave state in his favor so that he can keep Caitlyn from doing Caitlyn things pretty much. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see the dragon started up though on the side of Hornets.
Yeah, the dragon is going to be started up here. It is going to be quite the free dragon there. They are able to take it off the map very easily, so the Hornets will secure themselves one. But yeah, going back to this bot lane pick, man, every time I see a Sivir, I'm just waiting for that big power spike. And even now, we kind of saw it a little bit earlier in the season where she had that lethality build, I believe, right? You would go like
Yeah.
Mana and all that stuff. I wasn't too sure if she was going to go this one, but it looks like she's going for crit this time around.
It still works. It's kind of a worse question. I mentioned last game the Varus being able to go on hit, or I guess lethal tempo versus the I guess the tail blades versus the lethality build. Yeah. So Sivir's kind of a worse quote unquote version of that because Varus is the better of the two, but she has the same ability. You can pick her and switch into that poke style, really focusing on that Q. Or, you can also do, what she's doing right now, which is going this more Kraken Slayer build. You can also take, I think Shield Bow is pretty good on her, depending on, obviously, what the other team is playing. But I think she's one of the champions that can actually choose between 2 or 3 of the ADC options. You see a lot of the ADCs, they're kind of locked into specific ones. Like, Caitlyn pretty much always goes Gale Force. Samira, we saw hovered briefly, pretty much always, I've never seen her take anything else, goes Shield Bow. So Sivir is a champion that has a lot of flexibility in her build paths, much the same as Varus does.
Which is good to have when you're picking some of these champions in your draft phases, right? Having that flexibility to go for what your team needs, and this time around they're opting in for the crit here. Yulaw, though, in the mid lane, might be getting caught out. Use that perfect execution to get around and get out. Dash over to the other side. High6 going to try to do his best, but he's going to be taking damage from the other tower on the other side. Can he make this kill happen? He does turn it back around. Range stops, trying to make one happen as well. The Decimate comes out, but it's not enough to reach. And Yulaw is going to be just fine, getting away at the end of the day. And Hitstick's going to be scratching his head after that one.
I honestly think the person who's scratching his head the most is Webb. He's probably just like, what did my jungler and top laner just do? But definitely an overcommit coming out from Hitstick. He thought he had the damage to kill Yulaw. Yulaw hops, skips, jumps, and is suddenly out of the fight. So
just flies away at the end of the day, man. Yulaw, though, looking pretty good here. That Riftmaker completed now for himself. Has had it for a little while, as well as those Void Boots to get that extra penetration against the tankier members of the side of the Hornets here. The Stride Breaker on the Darius, so is a big item there for himself because he's able to just get onto targets a lot easier. And while Lowy over here has finished her Gore Drinker, that's nothing compared to what a Darius hits when he does have that Stride Breaker. You can just get on top of people so easily. The game is going to be here in a quick pause. We'll see what ends up happening here. But again, we can just talk about the different item builds that these guys are going for and what's really going down in this game.
Yeah, and something I do want to note while we're in this pause too is, no tower has been taken yet, and surprisingly, excuse me, my bagel is really wanting to come back up apparently. Surprisingly, in favor of Feathers and Fur, that is the lowest tower in the game. Granted, range tops has been kind of all over the map, trying to help push his lead into the other lanes, but he's really Feathers and Fur is getting really close to getting this first tower gold, which would at this point in the game potentially bring him back. I mean, not fully into the game. He's still going to be a 0-5 Alawi, but he is going to be a bit better off there.
on the top side, right? But hold that thought real quick, Ravens, as we can get right back synced up. I'm at 1654. Could you just, I think they're out of the pause now, so if you want to just check that for me.
Yeah, they are. Sorry, I'm ahead of you. You're at 1654, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, give me 1 sec. I have a bit of a sneak preview into what happened. All right, I'm at 1654.
All right, so we'll get right back synced up. 1, 2, 3, play. And we're back right into it like nothing ever happened. Yeah, go ahead, Ravens, man. You can explain your point as you were just a little while ago with that Alawi versus the Darius up there on the top side.
Yeah, no, I was just quickly saying, you know, Darius is obviously 5-0 right now. Lowie's 0-5, but she's getting awfully close to being able to take this first tower gold, which at 17 minutes in the game is going to be a big deal. She can get back into this game a little bit.
Yes, she can. On the bot side, though, there's some action going down. Perky Tricks is trying to do his best to stay alive there. Use the chrono shift on himself. Giggle is here, though. Gets stunned up by the Leona now. The double bomb is going to land onto Underage Rat, and Master Ukwe, the heal, is going to come out from him to keep himself alive. Giggle is trying to do his best to stay alive and fight his way out of this one, but Perky Tricks cannot do anything. Just support his 80 carry there. Now, Underage Rat has that bomb on top of him, but Hitstick is trying to do his best to just look for a fight here, but all he can really do is posture around this, and he's going to walk into Leona now. He's going back into the back line, uses that Thunder Smash to get back and smack him around. Here comes Perky Tricks, so he's trying to help out his Volibear as he can, but he can't really do much else besides watch him die under tower. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a 2-for-1. They lose the Sivir and Volibear on the side of the Hornets, while only Master Uguay dies on the side of the Wolves. So not too bad if you are the side of the Wolves and you looked for that trade.
Yeah, we did see Eula try to look for a potential kill on.
I think you might have just cut out there, Ravens, man. Are you still here? Yeah, I believe we're having some technical difficulty. Are you there, man? I believe Ravens, man, is lagging out right now or something because I cannot hear him. I guess I'll just take over for now until he does come back so he can explain his points.
Can you hear me?
I believe so. Go ahead and continue to talk. All right, there you go. You're back now.
Sorry,
we got you back.
I moved my mic and the cable fell out.
Oh, man.
So, anyway, as I was saying, I don't quite remember what I was saying. Oh, yes. It sucked to be an ADC in that fight. You got Hitstick just diving under tower just to kill Caitlyn and lose his life. And you got Giggle on the other side getting killed by 3 different people. Couldn't do anything about it. So, yeah. Really sucks to be an ADC, doesn't it? But yeah, we do see them taking the dragon here. That's going to be the second dragon coming in for the Wolves. I mean, this game is, like, really even. The entire gold lead is Darius.
Yeah.
Like, Hornets gold lead is Darius currently. So, if you're Wolves, you're actually not feeling too bad. Obviously, being against the 5-0 Darius sucks. You don't want to.
It's a little rough.
But,
Okay.
he's a scary Dairy. And, something like that can blow a flash anytime. But it's not the worst it could be, is the big thing. So
it's not the worst possible situation, but this one might be on the bot side here. Master Uguay could get locked up here. His stick is not able to land anything. The shockwave is going to come out. He is the ball carrier his team needs right now. Giggle was able to find that kill at the end of the day, but here comes the Nunu, the big snowball coming out. Underage Rat trying to do his best to find something, but he's just going to get stunned up there by Hitstick. But here is a call. Can she be the difference maker? Can Yulaw make the big play? But it doesn't look like he's in range to do anything there. But for now, there's just going to be that one kill down there on the bot side for the Hornets. They were able to get that engage off, use that Volibear to run in with the shockwave on top of that. So we're able to find that kill onto the Caitlyn, and Master Uguay couldn't really do anything against that engage.
Yeah, and not that it mattered much, but I do want to give props to Webb. He held on to his shockwave until he knew it was going to hit both of them. I mean, it didn't end up killing Leona anyway, but, like, the thought was still there.
Oh, okay. Perky Tricks. Yulaw, though, getting him under the tower there. Rips him apart. Underage Rat trying to keep his mid laner alive, though, here. The Underage Rat is able to keep him alive, though, with the slow, but the smite follow is going to come out from his stick. He's able to find that kill, but Master Uguay getting a lot of damage down on the Caitlyn here. Pulls over Peacemaker to try to find some extra damage. The ace in the hole is going to come out, but it's not enough to take out Hitstick. is just fine over there in the mid lane. So they find a 1-for-1. It is going to be the support for mid trade. And honestly, for the side of the Hornets, that's pretty worth because Akali had a bounty when that happened.
Yeah, so that's a that's a win for Hornets. That's an ego win for Yulaw. He made a really nice looking play. He just got, stun locked right after it. So, good job. I doubted, your potential ability on Akali. You proved me wrong. This is a nice play, but maybe get out next time, But I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, this game's still pretty even. A lot of it is Darius still. He's up. Taking a look at the gold. He's up about 2.3k gold, which is close. I mean, about 1k less than the total Hornets gold lead.
Yeah, as you were talking about earlier, this game is still very even. On the bot side, though, Chrono Shift is used to keep Perky Tricks alive. Zhang is going to be used as well. Web is trying to keep his support alive, but he might just be going down as well. The Shockwave comes out, lands on both of them. The bot lane from the side of the Wolves is looking bad right now. Giggle might be taking down one. Jar Jar trying to find a kill on the other side, though. The Q is going to land onto him. The Daybreak kills him off. So it's going to be another 1-for-2 trade on the bot side here. And the Wolves aren't feeling too bad after that one this time around. So mid laner and support die from the Hornets. And on the top side, though, they are able to get a return tower. So not looking too bad over there. The Darius is still very strong and going to be very hard to deal with. But Alawi is starting to hit some of these item points here. Again, has those Mercury Treads. Has that stopwatch to keep her alive if she does go into a fight. And depending on what she builds next, she's going to be still pretty hard to deal with if she gets into the middle of the squishies.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry. I'm just really torn on my thoughts on this game. Like, it's just really even for a 23-minute game, you know?
It's a very methodical game for both teams, right? They're taking their time. Nobody's making these huge, let's 5-man bot lane, let's 4-man, mid tier 2.
I mean,
like, it's a very controlled game for what we're seeing, for what we're used to seeing at least. Last game, 19 minutes was the end, right?
Last game. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we still got, the same amount of kills. We got 1 kill per minute, but it really doesn't feel like it. There's only been 3 turrets taken, while 3 dragons have been taken. It's pretty even. It's 2-1, so it's not like we're at soul point for anybody. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy that this game is as even as it is. I thought one way or another it would go. So I'll try to break it down. Obviously, top lane is going to be top favored.
Okay.
On 1 sec.
Yeah, you might need to break it down a little later though. Underage Threat has to use the flash to get away there. They are going to get this mid push here. So honestly, the side of the Hornets could just look for a top side Baron take here, as the side of the Hornets as the side of the Wolves is all down here, but looks like they still want to contest it. They don't want to give them the sole point. They don't want to put themselves in that position, so they are going to drag it out of the pit here. Are going to continue to damage it down, get some extra damage down. Underage Rat, not having the flash, can't really do anything to contest this. So it is going to be 2 dragons to 2 dragons to 2 now. Very even, if not even more even than it was before. So this game, man, is just turning out to be a very close game in between these 2 teams. Neither one of them wanting to say die. And Leona might be caught out here. Jar Jar might be getting caught out here. The hook does come out. His stick is still here. They use the ultimate. That is going to be him going into the back line. Range top picks up 1 already. Yulaw is in the middle of the fight though. Perky Trick using the Chrono Shift on himself to keep himself alive. His stick now takes down 1 onto Yulaw. Gil Queeve just taking out all the autos. All those ricochets going into the back line. Darius is getting those resets, getting the extra damage down. That's a double kill for both the top and jungle from the Hornets. And they just turned this game wide open. They just made this bot lane disappear. That tier 1 is gone now, and the side of the Hornets here can now use this to push into the tier 2, possibly even look for more objectives around the map. For now, though, range stops is going in. He's going fast. That chrono, or excuse me, that speed boost from the Zillion there doing a lot of work to get him moving real fast.
Yeah, so we can completely throw out the point I was going to make because it was, dependent on the game actually being even. We just saw Hornets basically say, this game is boring, I want it to go faster, and run at them, basically. But yeah, obviously they're going to come out on top of it. They should start to, look around this Baron here, start setting a vision for that. But, overall, I mean, that was just such a good initiation, knowing their limits, range tops, just sitting in the middle, hitting stride breaker so that everybody's slowed. He's got his E to pull people back in. And, everybody, I mean, Yulaw used his R2 on Perky Tricks, who had his ult sitting on him. So it's stuff like that, like, first off, you shouldn't be, hitting the Zillion in the first place, but, he's also got his own ult. You really gotta, you really gotta kill this Darius, but it's impossible if you're playing Akali, so it's like, who do I even kill?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of, priority targets here to assassinate besides, the Sivir and Orianna, but when you got that Zillion in the back line and the big front line to just stand in front of them, there's not much you can do. Especially considering the fact that this Darius is their strongest member at this moment, has those 2 items completed, the Stridebreaker and Steric, so even he's going to be very hard to deal with in the front line, in the front sides as well, when he's standing in front of his team at least. And if you're an Akali in that situation, what do you even do, as you're saying? Yulaw, he tried to get the damage down, as you said, use that R2 onto the Zillion, try to execute him, but Perky Tricks had already casted that Chrono Shift before he could even get him, so he doesn't even go down. And that team fight just completely turned into the favor of Hornets over there. You see Last Whisper completed down there for Giggle. So he's going to be burning through the tanks on the side of the Wolves, as well as that Essence Reaver and Kraken. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage on the Sivir, and he's kind of reaching this point where if he gets a couple more items in this game, he's going to be very, very hard to deal with at those item breakpoints. And we can already see it here. They don't even want to wait for that mode. They're going straight to the Baron.
Yeah, I don't even think Wolves realize this. I mean, Yulaw just saw, but Nunu's walking to the bot lane. They're just getting this. So
there's no contest at all.
They trade this bot tower. I guess, Wolves just must have made the call. They're too strong. We can't fight this, and I don't blame them, to be honest. I mean, that I don't know if that's necessarily something they can contest right now. They're really waiting for this. I mean, at this point, Master Uguay's had to deviate into LDR, Lord Down Next Regards, and Stormrazor is a very pivotal item on Caitlyn right now. Pretty much always has been since the introduction of the item, but, we have to wait another, she has to finish Stormrazor, and then we have to wait for Infinity Edge for her to really start, that's her spike at that point. We're waiting for probably Death Cap from Akali here, if she wants any way to kill Darius, but even then, like, that's probably not realistic.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't think Feathers and Fur will ever really be able to make the, the Alawi impact we're used to.
Yeah. Oh, and even opting in for this Guardian Angel second, it's not going to be the best item that you need to really do a whole lot of damage or be tanky. Yeah, it's going to give you that second life. It is going to let you, get the respawn off right at the beginning, but it's not going to do a whole lot if you're just trying to get some damage out or trying to stay alive in these fights. Yeah, you have the Gore Drinker to, heal up once you start taking some damage, but it was nerfed a while ago, so it doesn't heal as much, and not to mention that Alawi's just not as high of a level. You see this big 3-level difference up here on the top side. It's going to be very hard to deal with the Darius.
And when you're 0-6, that's like buying Guardian Angel when you're 0-6.
Oh,
hang on
wow.
1 sec.
Yep, there goes. There goes Guardian Angel. As we're just
buying
talking
Guardian
about.
Angel when you're 0-6 is like putting a band-aid on an amputated leg. Like, it's not... Like, what's it gonna do? So don't really like the choice. Obviously, you get the armor, you get AD, but like, you could get an Executioner's Calling. You could go straight into just full-on like Bramble Vest, because there is quite a bit of healing coming in from the Hornets here. You could go, some more damage. Maybe Black Cleaver wouldn't be terrible. Sterix, we see that coming in from range tops. I just don't see a world where, like, Guardian Angel is an item you get last, and you get last if you're a priority target.
Yep.
Feathers and Fur is not a priority target in the slightest, so I'm not quite sure, the point of it, but it is, it is what it is.
Yeah, he ends up opting in for it anyway. Maybe he just thought it would be useful in that situation, but as we just saw, really didn't do a whole lot for himself. Overall, though, I think the Hornets are starting to get a stranglehold on this game. You can see they got that mid inhibitor. able to push in that second bot wave. So the only standing tier 2 tower on the map is in that top lane, and you can see that they're probably going to end up going towards that side of the map right now, as they have that pushing bot and pushing mid. So we'll see what the Hornets end up doing with this pressure around the map. Not to mention that the Dragon is going to be spawning in another 5 minutes, so really not a whole lot going to be going on until that objective goes on, unless the Hornets or the Wolves decide to force something before one of those objectives happens, which is probably unlikely, as both these teams have been playing quite, reserved in these last, about 10 minutes of the game. So whatever ends up happening here, I think the Hornets have been able to secure themselves a great advantage around these objectives, and have been able to use that to secure themselves this lead. Is now about 8,000 gold in the lead, and on the bot side there we just see Web flash away and trades that for the TP there, and able to even take out this top lane tier 2. So able to gonna probably use this to push in even into the base even further, and the TP coming out now is going to allow them to kind of keep on pressuring. Here goes the fast bear. He's going to use the Stormbringer into the back line. The Shockwave on top of that to land onto nobody, but Jar Jar is already going to be taken down low. Caitlin's already taken off the map. Darius got a double kill already. And on the other side of the map, we're seeing Feathers and Fur just not able to do anything. Underage Rat, though, here in the middle of the fight, trying to do his best. The Lowy is staying alive healthily, but she can't do anything at all. It is going to be Yulaw, though, taking down one. He's going to be feeling good after that one, but it can't do much else. He's going to probably go down here, use the Zhonya's, turns golden to try and stay alive, but Herky Tricks just blows him up with that last little bit of bomb. And this, Ravens, man, is probably the end we're going to see here, as the rest of the side of the Hornets are able to wipe that team fight, and now break down the Nexus turrets, and now the Nexus as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think alrighty then. But I mean, it really was just a matter of, it was even until it wasn't. I mean, like, Hornets just decided the game's going too slow. I gotta go to bed. I got work in the morning. Let's just run at them and hope it works. And it worked. So, props to them. I do want to give some massive props to Wolves for keeping that, keeping that game as even as it was. Because, you've got a 5-0 Darius in the top lane sitting there. And, that's a moment I know I would start to be like, abandon ship, be careful. But, they kept their cool for quite a while there. It was a pretty good overall, it's a pretty good game for the most part until Hornets, pulled away. And it was still a good game. It's just Hornets pulled away. So,
yeah,
good job from Hornets. Also, very commendable performance coming out from Wolves. They did a good job. We saw some good things from Yulaw. Master Oogway, tried his best as you can do when you have a 5-0 Darius on the other team. Jar Jar had some decent engages, and Underage Rat did what he could in the early game. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it definitely wasn't the end of the world either. Like he did a pretty good job. So.
Yeah, did what he was required to do in that last little bit of the game there. And again, everybody in the chat right now or watching the Legend stream, make sure you vote for your player of the game. Over there in the chat has just opened up, so whoever you think deserves that win, that player of the game, definitely make sure you vote for them. And here we already see on the graphs that Darius absolutely popped off, toppling that damage chart all the way. Feathers and Fur not able to do anything to answer that. So we'll see what ends up happening here when it comes to the player of the game. But overall, though, Ravens men, it has been a pleasure doing this one. We are going to come back, so I don't know why I really said that, but overall, though...
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I just want to let you know, man. It's been a pleasure passing with you, man. It's been fun.
It's been a pleasure.
We got to see some banger games. The first one, a little bit of a stomping, and this one, a little bit of a slower pace, kind of methodical gameplay out of the Hornets there to end it off easily. So for now, I guess we'll just send it to a quick break until we load into the last... Actually, I'll just send it over to the analyst desk as we wait for whoever's going to end up taking away our player of the game there, rather. So we'll just go over here and we can just keep talking about this game. So overall, though, man, it was some interesting games on the day. Hold on, I still got the last time around. I still got the player of the game from the first game there. It was the AP Twitch showing up on the LAS board there. But overall, man, it is turning out to be quite a good Legends draft so far. Good competition here. I believe I just saw earlier the Eagles are starting off 4-0, so looking real good for themselves. So looks like we're having some strong teams on both sides of the bracket. And going into the later stages, and once this draft opens up and people can start picking up new players, it's going to be interesting to see who gets picked up here. Because right now, Range Stops absolutely is taking the vote so far. Already 8 votes for himself, looking real good. And man, this is good to see that we're seeing good League of Legends out of the LAS draft.
Yeah, and something I want to note because it's about to go live pretty much any second. Trades are now open pretty much. I believe Dallas will be announcing it officially any second now, but it's definitely gonna shake some things up. I think we're gonna see something. I'm hoping it doesn't all pile one on top of it. We've got a bunch of trade requests instantly, but um, I'm assuming we'll get at least maybe 1, 2, maybe 3. Hopefully we don't get all the way up to 5. So, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. The announcement just went up, so we'll have to see how badly hell breaks loose. But that last game definitely was interesting. Did we give player of the game already?
I believe you got a minute left, but it's all the votes have gone into Range
Yeah,
Top, so I guess I can call it now. Skew the
might
votes.
as well.
We may as well just close it off. The poll is now closed, so it was F Range Tops over there taking that player of the game with a KD of 9-1-3, looking real good on that Darius, looking real clean. So we'll see what he can do going to the future weeks of the LAS draft. For now, though, looking pretty good and looking hot up there. Was able to get that counter pick for himself, and it ended up paying off for the side of the Hornets.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't believe in it. I thought it was much more of an even matchup, but I suppose it is much more Darius' favorite than I anticipated.
Much more one-sided, man.
Yeah. Definitely a good performance coming out from him. I mean, he got 1 gank from Volibear in that early game. Feathers for really not respecting the early game. The level 3 gank that a Volibear can really provide, much the same that not a Volibear, that a Nunu can provide. Just kind of forgot about that ability from Volibear, and you saw what happened. Darius starts off 1-0. Darius gets a solo kill. Darius gets like 5 more solo kills, and that's the end of it.
And he runs over the game.
Exactly. So I mean, a good job, and definitely a good job from Hitstick, knowing which lane to gank, seeing that opening, getting his Darius rolling so that he can take over the game like he did.
Yep. And it ended up paying good for them, so they are going to be at 3-0 now, looking pretty good after the second week of the draft. Or excuse me, I don't know if they won their last game, but after this one, 3-0 from what I know. We'll see what they are actually at the end of the week. I'm not sure if they won their previous game or not, but overall, though, they're still looking just fine. And, it's good to see that these guys are coming out hot. As we were just talking about earlier, the thing has opened up now. The draft has just opened up now, so we'll start to see some of these players be moved around in the coming weeks. But again, I'll just throw it up there. Range Top takes your player of the game. KD 9-1-3. And Ravens, man, unless you got something else to say, I think we can just send it to the end and wrap this stream up with a nice little bow.
Yep, I think it's time for the bow. I don't have much else to say. I'm gonna echo what I said earlier. Very good game from Hornets, knowing when they could turn it on and just basically sprint at the other team. And also, I can't stress, it was a very well played game from Wolves nonetheless. Like they held it together in the mid game. It was very even for about 25 minutes of that game. And I mean, granted, the game only ended, 3 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes after the 25-minute mark. But that game was pretty much dead even. Granted, the Darius was pretty fed, but that was, overall, it was a really good game coming up from the Wolves. They did a good job.
Yeah, and shout outs to both Hornets and the Outlaws earlier in the day, picking up wins on the stream today. So, without further ado, this has been me, Gundo, and I've been alongside Ravensman. It's been good having everybody in the chat talking along as we were casting these games and hosting the stream. So make sure you come in next week and throughout the rest of the week, catch the rest of the games. We got LRS, LAS, Valorant, everything going on later in the week. Make sure you come on in, and enjoy the rest of the games throughout the week. So without that, I've been Gundo. You've been
I've been Ravens, man.
It's been us. We've been glad to have you, and we'll send it off
Yes.
to the end.
Yep. Thank you for having me.